Kaya Whadjuk. Kaya Whadjuk Nidja Whadjuk Nunga Boja. Nan Kwel Simon Forrest Burungu. With the Nalak Nidja dances. We are here today to do a welcome to country. And we'll do a smoking ceremony as part of it. The smoking ceremony is about a cleansing or purification of place, space or people. And in this circumstance here, a bit of a cleansing outside the building, a new building. To make sure and ensure the good spirits are here at all times. Nidja Whadjuk Nunga Boja. This is my mother's maternal country. All of the Swan coastal plain stretching from north of Whadjuk down towards Rockingham and east beyond Karamunda or the Black Hills is my mother's country. My mother's people have been walking this land and caring for this land we know as Whadjuk Nunga Boja for over 40,000 years. And our knowledge of this landscape continue today, even after the interruptions of the last 190 or so years in this place. We continue to be here, and we're not going anywhere. Other First Nations people from around the world refer to Aboriginal Australians as the first of the first peoples. Firstborn of all peoples, the oldest continuous culture and knowledge system on this planet. And for me, other Aboriginal people here, my brothers here, that knowledge and experience of being on this landscape runs through our bloodline, is part of our DNA. And so what we're about to do in welcoming you to this country, welcoming you to our Boja, I seek a reciprocal action that you can follow. Okay, so I'm welcoming you to my country. What you can do is get to know and understand and read fully the Uluru Statement from the Heart to ensure that when you vote in a referendum in just over 12 months' time, you know what you're voting about. So I ask that of you. Kaya Whadjuk, Whadjuk Nunga Boja. Kaya Whadjuk Nidja Whadjuk Nunga Boja. Nan Karech Nunga Mot. Kain Karach Nidja Boja. Nan Karech Nunga Kabali Boron Korea. When I create this smoke, I'll get the party that we're going to be smoked to step forward, and I'll do some giving you some of the smoke. So I'll get it going. Kaya Whadjuk Whadjuk Nunga Boja. 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 Kaya Whadjuk. Oh, sorry, speak to the local. Mate. Kaya Whadjuk Whadjuk Nunga Boja. Steady. Yep. Right.
All right, Kaya. So, thank you, Uncle, so much for that. Whenever I hear the language of the land that's been here for so long, thousands and thousands of years, it warms my heart. This country knows this language. just the simple thing of just saying kaya when we greet each other. It's a beautiful thing we need to do more often. We're here to very much bring in some more good spirits that are around. Uncle has already brought in some good spirits, but these dances that we're going to be performing for you and being able to do today are fortunate. We're fortunate enough to have these because of our ancestors before us have passed down these dances. But they're not just dances. These are ceremonies. Ceremonies passed down from generation to generation. Our great, I could keep going for a very long time, but we don't have enough time in the day. My ancestors have passed these down from generation to generation, and we are here to dance on this country. Our country that our family has danced on for a very long time. I'm Whadjuk Balarong Nunga. We're Buddy Mai Yamaji. My family has been on this country for a very long time. Also out to the east as well, into the wheat belt, Baladon country. I'm also from, my family connection is also towards Mount Magnet, northeast from here, quite a few hours drive. But we're here to celebrate today, bring in the good spirits with our traditional dances. Our first dance that we're going to be doing is a ceremonial dance, Wirin Mira. This is the spirit dance. This is where we're bringing in the good spirits to make sure it's a safe place for us to do our ceremonial dances. This is a calming energy. This is a soothing energy that we're bringing in. If you feel really calm, that's the job that we need done. If you get goosebumps on your skin, that's our ancestors coming along and dancing along with you. So hopefully you feel this. You get that energy around you. Younger, thank you.
See if I can see it.
You can clap.
I'm hoping you felt that calming energy come across. That's that good spirits coming along and being here and making sure we are going to be safe today to be able to do our ceremonial dances. So our next dance that we're going to be performing and doing with you is the Whadjuk. All right, I'm going to test this now. What's the Whadjuk? Anyone know? Pardon?
What's yelling out?
Emu. Ooh, not quite. That's the weight. Whadjuk, it's a footy team. It's not doing too well this year either.
Magpie.
Oh no, they're doing really well.
Okay.
It's a WA team. It's blue and yellow.
Oh, the eagle.
The Eagle.
There you go.
Yes, the Eagle. Okay. This is the Whadjuk dance. This is a very graceful and special dance. This is very much about rising above and not, because you see the eagle when it's flying up in the air. Sometimes the jitty or the jungung comes along and kind of says, get out of my territory, get out. And all it does is just fly a bit higher each time. Doesn't retaliate, doesn't come back, just flies higher. It's just rising above that. Sometimes we've got to do that in life, don't we? Just go, oh. Sometimes people say some stuff you don't really agree with, but you just got to go, rise above. Okay? So, our Whadjuk, mira. Our last dance that we're going to be performing today and being a part of is very much our celebration dance. This is like the first form of rock and roll. It's only around 80,000 plus years old, okay? So this one is our Nyambi. Can you say Nyambi?
Nyambi.
Come on, I can't hear you. I really want it out here. Nyambi!
Nyambi.
This is our celebration. This is where I need everyone's participation. I felt a bit of anxiety just then. It's okay, you can stay where you are. What I need from you is to be able to clap along, stomp your feet. Please keep a beat. We're going to find out if you can. But we want you to join in with this. The better energy, the better rhythm you keep, the better they dance. If we're just kind of like, oh yeah, what am I having for dinner? They're going to come out and go, okay, then I'll see you later. Yeah? We want some good energy. Can you give us that?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Yes. So once they start clapping along, okay, that's when we want you to do. Some people get really eager and just, oh yes, and get very excited. Okay. Our first dance that we're going to do just before that and going into the Nyambi is Kanya Warning. Okay. Kanya Warning is where our spirit is speaking to everything that is around us. The land, the Whadjuk, world, the sky, Mika the moon, Nunk the sun, the wind as well, Mara. We want to be able to keep our spirit alive with everything that's around us and be able to talk with it, okay? There's 3 ways of being able to speak, okay? Using our language. We have our voice. It's one of our weakest, okay? You can talk and you can talk all day, but sometimes if you're not passionate about it, does your message come across? Next, second strongest, okay, is your body language. Your body language is powerful. You can tell a lot about somebody's body language. If you're standing around and you see someone crossed arms, kind of looking at the ground, digging their white knuckle and everything, kind of feeling that, you see that, oh, I'm not approaching that person. They're kind of, oh, something's going on there. You feel that. The next is your spirit. When your spirit can talk to others without saying a word, we can all be able to feel that energy, the spirits around. How many times you walked into a room and be like, somebody's been having a fight in here. You can feel that tension. It's something you can't see, but you can feel it, can't you? That's your spirit feeling out the energy that's around us. A lot of times, unfortunately, that's the only one that we can feel, is that tension. But when you learn how to be able to really connect with your spirit, you can feel when you walk into a room, go, hey, there's something special in here. It's a happy place. You can go through it and you find out all of those different things. But the one that we mainly pay attention to is very much the tension, the anger, those kind of things, that energy. And this is why the smoking ceremony is so good. It gets rid of that energy. It can cleanse. It does so much. So we're going to get into our dances. Please join in, all right? Just when they start clapping along, okay? Hold off for a moment. Who felt like dancing? I'm pretty sure I've seen a few of you with your foot and stomp and ready to go. So that's why it's our celebration dance. I hope you really all enjoyed that. Thank you so much for having us here as well. We really appreciate it. And anytime we're allowed to, we come out and really celebrate these openings of events. Being able to do this with you as well, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Our heart jerks every time. So thank you all so much. Okay.
Can we give a round of applause to Jaden and the boys, please? Thank you.
It wouldn't happen without the didgeridoo, see?
Yeah. So thank you everyone, and Budawang, which is sort of like see you later, Budawang. And we will see you. Budawang. Thank you.
Budawang.
Thank you very much for that. And thank you very much, Professor Simon Forrest, for this wonderful welcome to country and the smoking ceremony. You can see that we've gone through some lengths to make sure we can have it even with the doors open. But thank you very much. And thank you for your patience in getting this on the way. Thank you also to our wonderful performers from Nganak Nija, because as a college that is committed to international education, we are really committed to the idea of bringing international students and First Nations peoples together in conversations, and this is one of the ways in which we look forward to be able to do this. Good afternoon. Welcome everybody, whether you're joining us in Perth or in our offshore campuses and our offshore partners offices at Navitas across China and in Bhutan. Thank you very much for making the time. We're very happy that those of you are able to join us online, because we can't welcome you to Perth yet, but with borders open and with this fantastic building that we have here now, this will all be possible in the future. I'd like to begin by acknowledging on behalf of Curtin College and Navitas, the traditional custodians of the land on which we're meeting, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. And I also have a couple of VIPs to acknowledge here. So Professor Simon Forrest as the senior elder, Minister Templeman, Vice-Chancellor Professor Harlene Hayne, DVC Global Professor Curtin, Navitas Group CEO Scott Jones, Navitas UPA CEO Bev Hudson, the founder and chairman of Navitas, Rod Jones, and Hannah Beasley, MLA. Thank you very much for joining us at this very special occasion when we mark our move from Building 205 to Building 420. My name is Sven Schottmann. I'm privileged to be the Curtin College Director and Principal, and I'll be taking you through this afternoon session together with my colleague Nancy Ma, who's the Marketing Manager for Greater China and Northeast Asia here at Curtin College.
Thank you, Sven. And a special welcome also to our partners and staff joining us at the special lunchtime sessions. Curtin College is hosting, together with Navitas and Curtin University, offshore representatives in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and in Bhutan. We are glad you're able to join us, along with many other of our partners across Australia and the Asia Pacific. 特别欢迎今天线上来参加我们的各位伙伴们同步远程连接参加今天的揭幕仪式，谢谢大家。
That's right. Selamat sore, selamat petang, masa al khair, bom dia, wherever you are from around the world joining us, welcome and thank you very much for being here today. It is really wonderful that so many of you are able to join this session from around the world, because Curtin College has students from 60 countries. So internationalization is definitely very, very important to what we do.
As we mark our 22nd anniversary in 2022, and with that, the move into this new building, let us review some of the key milestones on Curtin College's journey. Here is a special video we have put together to celebrate on our last 2 decades.
Now, at this stage, I'd like to invite the chair of Study Perth and Navitas co-founder and chairman, Rod Jones, to provide an overview of his reflection over the past 22 years. Rod.
Well, firstly, how do you follow that? Very difficult. And I have to say, Professor Forrest, that was excellent, really good. I've been to a lot of these ceremonies over my time, and that was easily the best I've been to. Firstly, welcoming Professor Hayne, Minister Templeman, Scott Jones as Navitas founder, Curtin colleagues, Navitas colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and other guests. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I was sitting back and thinking about what I would say today, and I suddenly realised that this relationship with Curtin actually started 23 years ago. And it started with a meeting between myself and the then Vice-Chancellor, Professor Toomey, and Jeanette Hackett. And Jeanette was at that time, the Dean of International, and they both had this focus and vision of being an international university with full internationalisation in all aspects, including numbers of international students. It was an interesting meeting, and it took about probably half an hour before we agreed that we should be doing something. And it was less than 6 months from the time that we met to signing the agreement that set up the establishment of Curtin College. That was in 1999, 23 years ago. There's a lot has happened since those days, and in fact it was quite interesting to reflect on how this college has been built and some of the trials and tribulations we've had to go through to get to where we are. One of the things that's always been the rock of this place has been the relationship with the university. It's always been strong. It doesn't mean it's always been perfect, but it's always been strong. And when you look back through some of the areas, things we had to focus on and to deal with, like SARS, the Asian crisis, government regulation that changed dramatically in the 2010s to almost block international students coming in, federal ones, by the way, and now COVID. But what we've been able to do is maintain through that a really solid, strong relationship and also build a very successful college. If you look at the college and why is it successful as it is, it's really because of the focus we have on students. It's all about student success and student outcomes. It's also about never compromising on the quality or the standards of what you do, which is what the whole foundation we've tried to build Navitas on. So from my perspective, I think with this new building is another step in the journey. I think this building provides for us a real opportunity to take this college to another level. And I know with the current strong relationship with the university, that's where we want to go. So on that, I'd say thank you very much for coming, and I'll pass over to whoever the next speaker is.
Thank you very much, Rod. It is now my pleasure to invite the Vice-Chancellor of Curtin University, Professor Harlene Hayne, to come to the podium to reflect on today's joiners occasion on behalf of university partner. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is one of the rare times where I feel like I'm one of the tallest people in the room, so this is fantastic. I'd like to start by also adding my thanks to Simon for that beautiful welcome to country. And I would like to respond to your challenge that as the Vice-Chancellor here at Curtin University, we will be doing our absolute best of educating the 97% about the very generous statement of the Uluru Statement from the Heart. I'd also like to acknowledge the outstanding dancers. I agree that was one of the most beautiful ceremonies that I've had the pleasure of being part of since I've been in Australia, and I look forward to hosting the dancers again for all of the other wonderful openings that we have to come. It is with great respect that I recognize that today we have the privilege of meeting on the traditional lands of the Whadjuk people, and I pay my respects to elders and senior knowledge holders of all Indigenous people of Australia. I'd also like to pay my respects to the Indigenous people on the land on which I was born, the Cherokee Nation of the southeastern part of the United States, and the Indigenous people of the land where I lived for 30 years, the Tangata Whenua of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And I'd also like to acknowledge all of the Indigenous people in all of the places where Curtin currently has campuses. As a newcomer to this particular country, I know that I am still learning, and as the Vice-Chancellor, I am heavily committed to teaching and learning in partnership with our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander colleagues, and I'm extraordinarily grateful for their ongoing support, patience, and wisdom. I would also like to specially acknowledge some of the guests who we have here today, the Honorable David Templeman. It's fantastic to have you here, not only in your role as the state's very first Minister of International Education, where you have already been a great advocate for this particular sector, but you also hold the portfolios of culture and arts, sports and recreation and heritage, and I think you were really pleased today to participate as the Minister of Arts in adding to the mural in this beautiful building. So you've really left a lasting mark on this particular facility. I'd also like to acknowledge Hannah Beasley, who has always been a fantastic supporter of Curtin, and Rod Jones, Scott Jones, and Bev from Navitas. It's fantastic to have you here as well. I'd also like to welcome all of our partners who are joining us online for this very significant event. And as Sven mentioned at the beginning, we have folks from literally around the globe who are joining us today from places like Shanghai, Guangzhou, Beijing, and Bhutan. We're sorry that you cannot be here with us in person, but we are absolutely delighted that you've taken time out of your very busy schedules, wherever you are in the world, to be part of this really amazing event. Now, the stunning building that we are all in today is part of Curtin's new Exchange precinct, and it was completed earlier this year. Exchange brings connections to the heart of everything that is Curtin, connections to country, connections to our students and alumni, and connections with industry and community partners, like many of you who are here with us this afternoon. There is absolutely no doubt that this state-of-the-art teaching space within the Curtin Exchange is an absolute game changer for Curtin College. Sven and the team set out from the very beginning to curate a best-in-class experience for the college's students and staff, and their hard work has certainly paid off. I think this is going to be an amazing building to live, to learn, and to work in. This new location will also allow Curtin College to expand their mission of transforming lives through education, doubling the capacity for students to 2,000 and employing 120 staff across a range of teaching and support roles. Now, Curtin College has been able to deliver this bespoke experience, drawing on a wealth of experience that has been shared by Navitas over a very long period of time. Students will take their next steps here in this building across 18 different classrooms and 4 computer labs with live streaming technology available throughout the building. Curtin College staff will also reap the benefits, and I've had the pleasure of running into many of you as I have had my chance to walk through the building, and I can see that, like me, many of you are having difficulty keeping the smile off of your face. This is going to be an outstanding place for you to continue to do the very important work that you do in supporting students through the college. And hopefully some of the other amenities that Curtin has provided, including our brand new IGA supermarket, which is located down here. And many people, when they hear me mention the supermarket, think I'm going a little overboard, but it really is the happiest place on the planet right now. So if you haven't had the chance, please, before you leave today, duck into the supermarket and grab something to take home for dinner. Now, the results of all of this is going to be an ongoing, very long-term and valued partnership with Navitas. Curtin College will continue to be an incredibly vital part of everything that we do here at the university. Now, as we know, Navitas Chair Rod Jones has been incredibly pivotal as a player in the success story that is Australia's international education market since its inception in 1986, and he continues to be so as in his role as chair of Navitas and Study Perth, and long may this relationship continue. Our university's goal is to make a difference in the world in which we live and work, not only here in Australia, but also in all of the other countries where we currently operate, including Dubai, Mauritius, Singapore, and Malaysia. And over the last 2 decades, Curtin College has contributed towards this goal of making a difference in the lives of people, with the graduation of over 13,000 students from over 60 different countries around the globe, imbuing them with the core values that we all hold so near and dear. Its graduates are fully equipped to build upon these foundational principles as they embark on their university endeavor, ready to embrace Curtin's own values of integrity, respect, courage, excellence, and impact. It is this alignment between Curtin College and Curtin University that has made this partnership so successful over so many years and has led to a premier pathway for higher education for our students. I, for one, look forward to continuing to celebrate Curtin College's continued success as we continue to work together into the future. Budawan, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice-Chancellor, for those kind words. And on behalf of all of us, thank you for your support to Curtin College over the past couple of years. Thank you very much. I'd now like to invite Scott Jones to address the podium.
Nearly going to hit the roof, I think, here. And it's good to see we have all the elements here today with the water and the water and fire. So firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation as the traditional custodians of the land on which we stand, and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I'd also like to really welcome and thank you, Professor Simon Forrest, for today. That was just an incredible opening to a wonderful campus. Also Hannah Beasley, Professor Harlene Hayne, the Honourable David Templeman and Rod Jones. For those that I know, Curtin holds a really special place in my heart. I'm an alumni of this wonderful university many years ago, and the place which we're standing today in 1993 was the overflow demountables on sand. And so I was in the business faculty, and I'd spend many of my times when I was at university in this area. So it's wonderful that we're now in this phenomenal space and getting to experience what is going to be an amazing campus. I also commenced my career with Navitas over 2 decades ago, and I commenced it here as probably the 5th employee of Curtin College. And along with Leah Marlowe, I think, who was the 4th employee, who is still over there, still with us today. So it really holds a special place in our hearts, and it's just been an amazing part of our career at Navitas. As Rod alluded to, Navitas is, we sort of see equity and inclusion as part of our DNA. We were founded on the principles of providing opportunities for students who couldn't quite gain access to a quality education in an Anglophone destination when the markets opened up. It wasn't because they didn't have the academic credibility or skills. It wasn't because their English proficiency wasn't strong enough. They just struggled to gain access and support with the wraparound services. And for all of us that have landed somewhere foreign and been required to be acculturised in a short succession of time, it's very anxiety driven and it's really hard. And Navitas over the last 3 decades has provided a platform and opportunity for students to feel included, to feel supported. And that's testament, I think, to the way in which the students have gone on to be successful in their second and third year of university. I think as we build upon this DNA that encompasses all facets of our diversity, equity, inclusion, our real emboldenment and support towards our reconciliation action plan, as well as the Uluru Statement of the Heart, our true commitment to that as an organisation. I think this embodies what we are as an organisation, and part of that in transforming lives through education. A lot of students come to us and first in family, whether that be domestic or whether that be international, and we really pride ourselves on creating those opportunities as an educational institution to support and grow those. But this wouldn't be possible without the wonderful partners that we have. And one of the most wonderful partners we have from an educational perspective is Curtin University. As we said, it's been a long-term, fruitful and wonderful relationship that supported and helped so many people on their journey. But that doesn't go as far as obviously the staff that we have that work at Navitas, who are just phenomenal. The things that they do every day in supporting those students and the way they go about their work tirelessly and effortlessly to support what they need to do to ensure that we're providing the greatest experience and the best outcomes for our students. And also it goes for the agents that we have, those online. Without their help in supporting and promoting our products in country, we wouldn't be here without them either. So Navitas's vision is to be the best global education provider in the world according to our students, our partners and our people. And obviously we spoke about those key stakeholders there today. And I think all of that is we look to have ambitious growth strategies and ambitious perspective in terms of where we want to go and how we want to do that. And I think today and where we're standing is real testament to that commitment from both parties in terms of the elevation of this partnership and the direction that Navitas wants to go in terms of where we hold ourselves. So thank you everyone for attending today. I'm really proud to be here. As I said, it was kind of being here in the beginning as a student, being here second as one of the inaugural staff, and then being here as having the opportunity to run and lead this most magnificent organisation. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott, for your leadership and support getting us into this fantastic new building. We are certainly gearing up to grow in the next 3 years and now have the facilities on campus to provide the required support to students. On your way into the building earlier, you may have noticed a large acknowledgement of country we have placed in our entrance hall. The accompanying art of the piece of art was designed by Michelle Keycat, an Indigenous artist from Western Australia with strong connections to Curtin University and Bentley campus. Let's hear from her.
My name is Michelle Keycat and my artist name is Wilira. I'm a member of the Noongar language group from the southwest of Australia, and I'm a direct descendant of the Whadjuk women tribes on my maternal side and the Balladong tribe on my paternal side. My artwork relates to and reflects traditional and contemporary aspects of Noongar culture. So as a Noongar artist, I also believe that Aboriginal art has some type of cultural significance that relates to the past and present times. I also believe Aboriginal art is a mental, physical and spiritual extension of ourselves, which shapes our artistic practice and who we are as Aboriginal artists. So the artwork that I designed is titled Kundan Whadjuk, when interpreted means knowledge of country. I developed this design in collaboration with my daughter, Tamika Cummins. The main feature of the artwork is the woggle, or the rainbow serpent, a Noongar deity which is related to the creation of the waterways in the local landscape. So during the Nyuring, or the dream time, the woggle carved out the hills and the valleys and the waterways. One such waterway is the Canning River, which is located within the city of Canning. This is depicted in the artwork as the blue lines surrounding the woggle. 3 concentric circles depicted in the artwork symbolise the past, the present and the future of the student's journey. Overall, acknowledging the local Noongar culture, law, country and people living in the southwest of Australia. The foot tracks and the figures featured centrally in the artwork represent the students on their educational pathways while attending Curtin College.
Thank you very much for that. And I'm not sure if Michelle is able to join us here today, but it was an absolute highlight to work on this project, as you can imagine, with her, especially for international students to see themselves reflected in First Nations art. These conversations, we can host them at Curtin College, and we're very proud of ability to do so. So thank you very much, Michelle. I would now like to invite the Honourable David Templeman as Minister to address the group. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, Professor Forrest, can I acknowledge that we are joining you on Whadjuk Noongar country today, and can I thank you sincerely for your welcome to country, and can I acknowledge, of course, our First Nations people and the wonderful journey that we're all on together on this magnificent land that you share. Can I also acknowledge our dancers, the Nalak Nidja dancers. Can I thank you, fellas? You were wonderful. It's always very special to experience what we just experienced earlier, and can I thank you for sharing with us those stories. They are tremendous and they are remarkable. Can I acknowledge, of course, Vice-Chancellor. Can I also acknowledge our other special guests who are here, Dr. Shoshman and Rod Scott, my local member, or my colleague, of course, the local member for Victoria Park, Hannah Beasley. To all of the members of staff, special guests, and are there any international students here? If you are, could you put your hands up? Because I want to particularly welcome you. It's wonderful to be here with you today. And Kaya, to our international participants, wherever you may be, it's great to join you. I have the great honour, I'm looking at the camera now, so forget about them. I have the great honour of being the first Minister for International Education in Western Australia. It's a great privilege of mine to be the first International Education Minister. I'm particularly proud because I want to not only acknowledge the journey that Curtin College, through, of course, great partnership with the Curtin University, have been on over the last 20 plus years, but also highlight how important I and indeed the Government of Western Australia places with regard to embracing, welcoming and celebrating with our international students their learning journey. I am particularly proud of that. We have a wonderful, wonderful culture to share that Professor Forrest has highlighted in his welcome, and the dancers demonstrated in their dance, and also Michelle, who has captured in her beautiful art piece. The journey together is really important. It's a journey for humanity, and we only need to look at our First Nations people to guide us in that important connection to country, connection to learning and connection to stories. It's something that I think all of us who are lucky enough to live in Western Australia and this nation should never take for granted. That is, that we have here the oldest continuous living culture. That is such an important part of our Australian story. And for me, that is pivotal to not only what this new part of the university and, of course, through Navitas has been created, but it is also an important reminder that we are all on a lifelong journey of learning, and that lifelong journey means that we can absorb and learn from our elders, and we can share our stories. And by doing that, we are so much more richer in terms of humanity. I am very proud to be here this afternoon because I think it's important to acknowledge Navitas and the journey that you've been on, Rod, and also your co-founder as well. It's a very important journey for how we approach education, and particularly international education in our state going forward. And I am very, very keen to ensure that even more international students choose Western Australia, choose Curtin, choose this place to study and learn. I want to see that grow because that enriches all of us, enriches all of us. And I am always reminding our families and parents who allow us to welcome your daughters and sons to this university and our other learning institutions in Western Australia, that not only are you welcome, you are part of the West Australian family. And that is important. And if we can do something really great, that is highlight to the world that Western Australia is a place where people can live, learn, safely, travel on a journey together. I think we've achieved a very, very great deal. Thank you so much, Vice-Chancellor, and also your special guests for inviting me to be with you today. It is a great privilege to celebrate, as our wonderful dancers reminded us, to celebrate. And that's what it's about. We live in a beautiful part of the world. We have beautiful people to guide us on a journey together. And I want to thank you, fellas. That was, I've got to say, that was very moving, those dances you gave us today. And it's something that I'll treasure for a long, long time. Thank you for having me today, and congratulations to everyone involved in the opening of these buildings, but more importantly than that, the journey together. We're doing it together. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Templeman, for your support and your kind words. I would now like to invite Minister Templeman, Professor Hayne, and Mr. Scott Jones to come forward to unveil the memorial plaque marking Curtin College's official opening in this new building.
Thank you very much for that. So this plaque will be installed in concrete to live forever on the ground floor in a couple of weeks' time. We need to get permission from the university to get the drilling done, but we'll sort that out. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for this impromptu joining of forces. It's so good to see this as a quadrilateral arrangement now. Thank you very much. So really, this building that we're sharing, we're wonderfully lucky to be able to walk around and explore the place, which I'm sure you have done already or you'll do afterwards. But for those of our friends who are offshore, we would now like to make them terribly jealous and like to invite them on a journey through the building with us in order to explore what the Curtin College learning spaces look like.
Hello and welcome to Curtin College's virtual tour. My name's Chloe and I'm here at the bus station in the heart of campus, and me and my friends will show you around. Come on. Building 420 is designed to give all of our students a world-class learning experience. It's located in the new Exchange Precinct, where there's shops, restaurants, a hotel and student accommodation. Come on in.
Hello guys, I'm Rachel and this is Curtin College, which includes the level 3, 4 and 5. This is the new reception, and follow me to see some of our students helping with the collaborative mural by Melski. And here we are in the students' common area. The old building has free Wi-Fi and it has a number of spaces where students can socialize and study. Come have a look.
Hi, I'm Sabrina, and right now I'm on level 3. Level 3 also has a lot of counseling rooms, consulting rooms, the boardroom, and also hot desk for staff. Come with me and have a look. There's also a lot of offices and facilities for our student services, academic team, and admission and marketing.
Hi, I'm Suhasini. On level 4 and 5 is where all the teaching spaces are. We have 18 classrooms, including collab spaces, computer labs, and a dry lab. Come with me. Our classrooms are fitted with new technology like ceiling speakers and high-definition cameras to record lectures.
And that's the end of Curtin College's tour. We'll hope to see you soon. Bye!
Thank you very much for joining us on that flyover through Curtin College. For those of you in this building, you can actually meet the superstars who produced this video, and they'll be very happy to offer roving tours. Everybody who's here is invited to go on a guided tour led by the students, and everybody who joined us from offshore, I hope you got a good taste of what you saw in the videos and that you'll be joining us here in person very, very soon shortly. So that's over to you then.
非常感谢大家参加今天的揭幕仪式，期待在线上跟更多的朋友能够在新校园见面。Thank you so much for joining today's session and looking forward to see you in person. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.